Good morning, everyone. Good evening or good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Once again, we're we're live streaming. Something's not working with my mic. This morning I took some scalps. I've shared all that on the Discord. If you're interested in that, there's a link to the free Discord community down below. Only some scalps, but overall on my Take Profit Trader account, I'm up $540, so that's pretty good. Can't complain about that. Right now, we're looking at a 15-minute time frame market structure shift. Right here, we have the previous day's high. You can see I'm already using the ICT all-in-one beta version, where I added SMT divergence. And what else did I add? The regular trading hours opening gap. So those are two more tools that you do not have to do manually. Let the indicator tell you when it's there. Which will be a lot of time being saved. Right, it's 9 a.m. New York local time. We have 30 minutes until the New York Open. We do not have news on the calendar. Let me check that again. And first of all, let's see what our trade would look like here if I enter on the 15. Bearish fair value gap, 5.5 points. For a potential 10-point target. Oh, come on, Mike. Stop messing with me. Alright, let me first check out the YouTube chat. Do we already have some people watching? Check out the hourly time frame here. On the hourly, we could do a retracement. What I don't like is that right here on NQ, we didn't take out the previous day's high, while on ES we did. This would be the same scenario that we had yesterday, just vice versa this time. I'm going to enter, but because I already made decent profits today, I'm only going to be using micros. My stop loss is going to be right here at the high. My take profit target is going to be right here at the low. Create limit order. Be aware that this is a entry prior to the New York Open at 9:30. We touched the 15-minute bearish fair value gap, but we didn't trade into it yet. And there we have it. The live stream is already, or let's say my trading view is already starting to lag a little. I'm not gonna be streaming forever for free on YouTube. That's only for the beginning. I don't like that at all. All right, we're looking at a potential entry short based on a 2022 model. We had our run to the upside, so basically what I would be looking for, we already touched the fair value gap, but we didn't get filled, is for price to at least come back towards the 50% retracement level of the entire daily range. Here we have the current low of the day and the high of the day. And we would frame that short of our 15-minute bearish fair value gap if we do get filled. I'm already in good profits for today on my Take Profit Trader account, so I have no reason to jump the gun and jump in early. I'm not missing out. We have a 5-minute bearish fair value gap up here as well. Right now we're just consolidating. That looks similar to the setup we saw yesterday, where we kept putting in higher highs and higher lows. It's not the 9:30 opening yet, and it's, now I don't want to say pretty rare that we see the high for the New York session being put in place prior to the New York Open. Sometimes we do get that, but not every time. So we get rejected once again here. It's 9 a.m. 15-minute candles about to close on 5. I'm going to look at the 5-minute time frame here. Let's also take a look at the 1-minute time frame. Now we have equal highs and equal lows. We had this displacement lower right here, but immediately engulfed this bearish candle, which for me, I would look at this candle as a bullish order block. We have a high probability bullish order block because we have a bullish fair value gap paired with it on the other side. We did not see a wick to the upside. We displaced immediately, leaving behind that inefficiency. We've been testing it a couple of times. Now leaving behind equal highs and equal lows. I think that should hold to at least deliver into our equal high buy side or the 5-minute bearish fair value gap here. What did I press here? That's pretty cool. I could be wrong and we could start to sell off from here. But that's fine with me. I've been already made decent profits for today. 15-minute time frame. And of course, if you have any questions, we actually got the 15-minute bearish fair value gap fill here on NQ. And if we were to measure our PD array, sell side below 50% would be the target, and then still manage to continue to expand further to the upside. Let's see if we have any questions on YouTube. Good morning, guys. Happy Halloween. I don't know. I have my sell limit ready. We cleared these short-term highs. Right here, we didn't close above it. We only wicked it, opened up with a bearish volume imbalance, and then we saw the displacement, leaving behind fair value gaps. And we immediately continue further to the downside without ever getting into really our 15-minute bearish fair value gap. We will see. The 9:30 open is not in yet. I wanted to check if we have some news. First of all, let me make sure that I update my take profit trader account because my P&L is 540. Forex Factory. Tuesday, at 9:45 we have the Chicago PMI at 9 a.m. The S&P Composite at 10 a.m. consumer confidence, and at 8:30 we had employment cost news. So let's check that out, what it looks like on the chart. Therefore we drop it down to the 5-minute. I'm gonna get rid of my sell limit for now. Yeah, I won't do that for long. I really don't like how me streaming on both Discord and YouTube is decreasing the quality of me charting here. It's a bit laggy. I don't like that. So I think starting from next week, only stream Mondays and Wednesdays on the YouTube channel for free. If you want to join all the other live streams, there's a link in the description where you can do so. It's just too laggy. I'm not sure if the YouTube live stream is laggy. Good morning, Wef. What's the stream quality like right now? Is it good? Is it lagging? Is it cutting out? The 8:30 open, we want to see that. So 8:30 came in, offering a displacement lower. Now we will have news at 9:45 and 10 a.m. We will see. What I don't like about this 2022 model right here is that we have SMT divergence between ES and NQ. We had this something similar yesterday. So here we went above yesterday's high, but on NQ we didn't go above yesterday's high. And yesterday during the PM session that led to ES rallying to the upside. If you remember, we tried to short right here from this highest bearish fair value gap into sell side. On NQ that would have played out perfectly. It would have never hit our stop loss. But on ES, because we didn't take out Friday's high right here on Monday, we left that behind before we got our entry model. This didn't play out. And yeah, we continued to rally into buy side. Today, Asia, we had a continuation move to the downside with a quick reversal back to the upside, taking out the previous day's high. News come in, we get our displacement, we fill our lowest bearish fair value gap right here. And we do not hit our 5 or 15 minute bearish fair value gap, continuing further to the downside. My first target really, other than this low right here, would be the daily opening right at 4184.25. And it seems we're accelerating towards that. Yep, on both ES and NQ. So this is just a missed opportunity on my side. I had my limit order set right here at this 15-minute bearish fair value gap. But I think I was too late, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really keen on taking any more trades today on that account. It's already up. Good before all the news. I think it's safer if I go on my paper trading Apex account and see if we can get that above, yeah, maybe 52k today. It's 2 minutes behind. Yeah, that's normal. There's a added delay here on YouTube with the ads and all that. That's normal. So yeah, more of a gesture to stream here on YouTube live as well. The main focus is the Discord, and there you have a non-delayed stream. So if I take 1 minute time frame entries, you actually have the opportunity to copy these trades. I was mentioning the potential 2022 model already with all the VIP members. Tape reading. Right here, I was talking about the potential 2022 model prior to the 9:30 opening, so watch out at 146. So right here on this candle, 146. Right here, when we pretty much started the retracement, let me see, 5-minute time frame candle, 15-minute time frame. Well, on this candle, then we saw the retracement, and yeah, now we continued lower. You could have picked any of these fair value gaps. That played out pretty well, unfortunately, without me as of right now. But it could be worse. Let me open up Discord again. Let's see, regular trading hours opening gap will appear once we open up at 9:30. Break of structure, we do not need that right now. We have our power of 3, volume imbalances. We could check for daily volume imbalances. Yeah. Let's see what happens. So right up here, we have a daily volume imbalance that hasn't been filled yet. Basically, this new day opening gap, that's where this daily volume imbalance comes from. And we fell short of that while on NQ, really. If we take a closer look on NQ here, and also use the beta, we already tapped into this old new day opening gap. Daily volume imbalance area up here. Yesterday, twice. Now for a third time. What else would be interesting? Multi-time frame volume imbalances. Fair value gaps, not right now, not prior to the 9:30 open. Breakout structure and market structure, we do that in our minds. Regular trading hours, opening gaps. So in the beta version of this indicator, here it's now possible to display the regular trading hours opening gap. So once 9:30 opens up, this little box is being drawn, extended over until 4 p.m. New York local time. And then, yeah, you get a visualization of the regular trading hours opening gap without having to switch between them. You can go into the settings, and all the way at the bottom, you can choose how many regular trading hour gaps you want to see. If you want to see the consequent encouragement, if you want to extend them to the right. And I've also added SMT divergence. Right here, SMT divergence. You can set a specific period for that as well. But back to current price action. We did take the sell side. So if we drop it down to A5, we made a lower low here officially now. The next target obviously would be the new day opening gap and the daily opening of this daily candle. We are still inside this 5-minute bullish fair value gap, so let's see what we do inside that area. We have around 8 minutes left until the New York Open, so now would be the best time to ask me any questions if you have any. Good morning, Faye TV. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Agent Smith. Oh. About tomorrow. Tomorrow likely there won't be a live stream. It's a public holiday. Yeah, public holiday here in Germany. And tomorrow we also have FOMC news, and I don't trade FOMC news, so there's no point in me streaming. I'm not like ICT saying, oh yeah, don't trade NFP and CPI and all that stuff, and then upload a recording afterwards of how I traded it. I like to avoid these days. Like, yeah, Agent Smith, but I'm talking the truth. You can't lie. You can't deny it. If I'm saying I'm not trading on that day, I'm not trading on that day. I got some other stuff to work on too. Like the ICT all-in-one indicator to finish off the beta version and yeah, push that update. You just posted... I just posted a 4-hour video. Oh, cool. Yeah, nah. I know my shit. It should be sufficient. I've got my model. I know how to execute on that model or based on that model. That's all I need. Right here, that's the model. We had our market structure shift with 2 bearish value gaps. If we look at the 15, we only wicked the upper fair value gap right here and immediately rejected, continuing lower. I'd say gravitating at least towards the VWAP. And if we go further than a VWAP, my target would be the sell side liquidity at the new day opening gap. We will see what the New York Open will do. I wouldn't be surprised if the New York Open or the news after the opening at 9:45 and 10 a.m. will push price back again to the upside. Because only ES did take out the previous day's high. As we can see right here, if I turn off all the drawings, we didn't clear the previous day's high on NQ here. We fell short of it, had our structure shift. You see that? We filled the 15-minute bearish fair value gap. That would have been an easy 37 points already here on NQ. On ES, entry on the breaker block. Already more than 5 points. Pretty good. Yeah, yeah, very true. Well, I'd say a 4-hour video uploaded by ICT is generating a lot in ads revenue. If people keep on watching it because they want to find out what they, like, I don't know, what's his message? What does he want to say in this video? Or are we just watching a movie? Like, I don't know. If you can't, well, I don't know. Not my business, and I don't care about it. Get a few more people joining on YouTube. Good morning, everyone. We have 2.5 more minutes until the New York Open. We have the 8:30 opening above the previous day's high. We continue to dive deeper into this order block right here. We will see if we can break below it. Let's see. I already took some scalps along the way, on the way to the upside this morning with all our Discord VIP members. I've been discussing the potential 2022 model from right here, where prior to the London kill zone, we took out the sell side liquidity, this trend line liquidity right here. We broke out right after 2 a.m. and then a London kill zone started. We left behind this fair value gap with the VWAP and we continued further to the upside. To be really honest, me and the community, or at least me, maybe some of them got in up higher, but because the stop loss would have been rather big, too big for my liking prior to the London Open at 4, because of daylight saving time changes. That's now at 4 a.m. until America enters winter time as well. I was really looking for a entry long of the midnight level, or at least this bullish value gap. I had my limits set, and yeah, then we simply continue to run anyway into this drawn liquidity. If we look at this right here, we can see we closed on Monday right here. We opened up on Tuesday right here. We have our opening or drawn by the all-in-one indicator without having to have so many drawings on our chart. We left behind all these equal highs right here. 1, 2, 3 equal highs at the Asian session high. Then we started this fake move to the downside, displaced, never came back into our lower fair value gaps, and we rallied to the upside until we broke above our previous day's high. And I took scalps along the way, Come on, you want me to log in? Yep, account summary. I took scalps along the way on the 1 minute time frame, just following the momentum. 1 minute, 5 minute bullish value gaps with one mini contract. And yeah, that account is doing pretty well. It's more than halfway of being passed. And the cool thing with Take Profit Trader at the moment, 9:30 open up, but we're not gonna enter right on 9:30 anyway. Take Profit Trader. They have a pretty cool discount going on where you don't pay activation fees or pro account fees. So you usually save, you save 130 bucks based on that, and you get a 40% discount. So it's actually one of their best offers. You get to reset your funded account right here up to 3 times, and 0 minimum days until first withdrawal. So if you made profit on day 1, you can withdraw it immediately. But let's watch the New York Open here. Someone asked how you would find signals with my ICT all-in-one indicator. And I want to really make this clear. This is not a signal indicator. Let me refresh it here. All it is a charting tool to, I don't know, really save some time, or if you're on the go, or if you're at work and you're watching the charts on your phone and you would maybe even take an entry based on that. You don't want to draw in all these lines with your finger and make sure they're all horizontal and all that stuff. All you have to do is open the indicator on your phone or on your computer, choose the settings that you like. So for example, right here, we have that new day's opening gap, or the regular trading hours opening gap. We opened up at 9:30, and that's around where we closed on Monday. So we already filled in this entire gap. That's also part of the ICT all-in-one indicator. That's just good to know. Otherwise, you would always have to switch over to the regular trading hours chart. You would have to go to the daily time frame to see what the daily candle looks like and all that kind of stuff. So if you're on your phone and you don't even have the time really, if you just want to look at your charts and want to see, okay, hey, do we have a market structure shift, and you turn on the market structure shift and it will display all the market structure shifts afterwards. If break of structure is also enabled, then you don't have to draw in all these stuff. So the previous day's high, previous day's low, and you can take it on the go. You can pretty much make this indicator yours. You have all the settings below here. If you want to see the midnight open, if you want to see a different price level, like let's say for example the 6 a.m. open or the 4 a.m. open, you can simply modify all that here. If you have specific trading sessions, you can use this little highlighting tool right here. If you don't want it, you simply turn it off. New day opening gap, new week opening gap, power of 3, multi-time frame volume imbalances, macros, ICT macros, market structure, multi-time frame fair value gaps, session liquidity, SMT divergence, and now the regular trading hours opening gap. All in one indicator without you having to draw hundreds of boxes. And I think I didn't think about it at the beginning, but once I had the indicator on Monday, because I finished coding it this weekend, I looked at the chart on my phone while I was, out with some friends, and I wanted to see, okay, where's the 8:30 open, previous week high low? Do we have a higher time frame fair value gap without having to switch time frames, looking at all that? I simply open up the indicator, and right here inside that control panel at the very top, you can enable and disable all the things that you want or don't want to see. So let's say we do not want to see the regular trading hours opening gap. We disable that, we turn it off, and it will disappear. If we do not want to see the power of 3 concept, we turn it off. If we're not interested in SMT divergences right now, we turn it off. Market structure shift, we don't need that right now, we do that manually. We leave our kill zone background on. Session liquidity, no, I'm not really interested in that. We already took out the high of the day. And just like that, all the drawings are on your chart. I think that's pretty cool. I used to draw all these things and store them nice and tidy in my object tree, but it was a lot of work, and especially on my mobile device or when I was not actually in front of my main trading station, I would say. I had a hard time, making some drawings. Alright, so we just took that sell side liquidity, 9:30 5-minute candle closed, and the 9:35 candle opened up with a 1 minute 5-minute volume imbalance right here, also a 1 minute volume imbalance. And now if we turn on our power of 3 indicator again, I have it modified because I only want to see what the daily candle looks like at this point in time, because we're now below the opening price, this line right here. I also have that turned on, the daily open right here. We're below it now, so we have a bearish candle. We continued lower. I shared the 2022 model with all the members right here on our Discord server. Right here, potential 2022 model, 15 minutes before, it continued lower. That's all I can do if I send lower time frame signals. Let me scroll down. Yes, I would take it, but with right here, potential 2022 model. Let's go back and put that on the other screen. And we see we keep on selling off after the 9:30 open, likely making this the accumulation, manipulation, distribution to the downside. Let's take a look at NQ here. NQ is doing that exact same thing, just dropping to the downside. At the beginning of the stream, we also talked about the 15-minute market structure shift, the retracement into the bearish fair value gap up here, and the continuation. Come on, screw it. With all the live streams going on YouTube and Discord, my trading view is a little bit laggy. That's why I will start to only stream on, let's say, 2 out of 5 trading days for free on YouTube. All the other streams will only be accessible to the live stream or VIP members on our Discord server. Very nice 2022 model still. I mean, like Dirty Ryan asked me already, it's up to everyone owns, risk parameters if they like to take an entry prior to the 9:30 opening volatility. We had reasons why we could have seen it continue higher to take buy side one last time, but it doesn't do this all the time. So if we get the setup prior to 9:30, I always take it. But since I've already secured my profits for the day and we have the consistency rules with Take Profit Trader, no reason to risk any of the secured profits that I already made, or secured basically. Take Profit Trader. Up 590 tomorrow. Good morning, Shoes here. Nice to see you again too. Rotten Banana. I'm on a 5-minute time frame right now. I can turn on the watermark if you want. 5-minute time frame. We keep on selling off. Right here, 15-minute bearish value gap. Let's see if I still had my limits on the micro contracts on the other accounts. Should have been filled. 10 points towards the daily opening. It's done. Sort of a pretty bullish candle. We made a bearish candle again here on the daily time frame using the power of 3 concepts. NQ already took out the 4 a.m. London open low. ES did not yet. So that's something to watch out for. If we look at the entire range today, I don't think that we will get a rejection back up. We would see that right now we're around the golden pocket zone. ICT fib retracement. We have the optimum trade entry lining up just below the low right here, below the 4 a.m. London open low. You see, we already retraced pretty deeply. So today you won't see me take any more executions on my take profit trader account. This one is done for today. I'm locking in this PL and 1% during the London session, taking some scalps into that previous day's high. I've shared all that on Discord, but I'm going to go into my paper trading account, my practice account. Let's drop it down to a 5-minute time frame. We took the sell side, we had our displacement. Let the indicator load up. Usually it's not taking that long. That's because my computer is pretty busy right now. Streaming live and Discord and YouTube, having multiple Chrome tabs open. The regular trading hours opening gap, we already spoke about that. That's only available in the beta right now. But if we look at the 1-minute time frame, this is our regular trading hours opening gap, all on our chart, without having to do any of the charting work. If we want to show 1-minute fair value gaps, we could do that as well. But yeah, I have a well-trained eye. I don't really need fair value gaps to do that. So let's see if we cannot get a continuation scalping on this unfilled volume imbalance. My stop loss would go above this high and my take profit target would be down here. Let's enter with 1 mini here on my paper trading apex challenge. Just looking for the momentum continuation here, at least to the midnight level. We can see that NQ is already way past that, about to take out the current low of the day. We have SMT divergence because NQ didn't take out the previous day's high. We do have some sort of trend line liquidity up there as well. Stupid mic. We're in our trade. We did not hit the volume imbalance yet. Right here, we could also use the multi-time frame volume imbalances and go down to the settings and turn on, let's do 1-minute time frame volume imbalances. Last 5 ones. Likely this one, and this one, and a few. Yeah. So we got our 930 expansion to the downside. We consolidate And all I'm really looking for is the momentum continuation towards the midnight level, or at least until the London session low. Very simple trade. Entry based on volume imbalance, bearish fair value gaps. Not expecting the highest fair value gap here to be filled, simply because there's high volatility. It's a New York Open. Momentum is strong. We have a new bearish volume imbalance here on the 1. We already rebalanced this bearish candle. Here's going to be my buy stop. Okay, do we fill this unfilled volume imbalance now? Usually unfilled volume imbalances, and by that I mean a volume imbalance that remains open, so we gap to the downside here, and we do not get the wick back into our closing price of that previous candle. A mitigated volume imbalance for me is this one right here. We gap to the downside and we retested it, continued selling off. Right here we gap to the downside, but we didn't retest it. Anyway, we kept on going lower again. And usually those are very good points to, I call them high risk entries, because they are high risk. Trying to get in with the momentum of the trend. Also only works if we're expanding, or if we have a strong belief that we're gonna expand further to the downside. Our limit order up here would have been filled. NQ starts to retrace a little. And right now we have SMT divergence between ES and NQ, looking at the London session lows. Let's see if we can get it filled now. And we can see how we react off this unfilled volume imbalance. We open up with a new bearish volume imbalance. That's pretty dope. Open chat. Discord members, or good morning Ragnar, first of all. Good afternoon. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Same goes for all the YouTube viewers. I'm not sure. Likely my microphone tipping over. That's likely what happened. And yeah, if you're watching for the first time here on YouTube, there's a 1 or 2 minute delay added to the stream. And also, come on, advertising. So if you want to enjoy a lag-free, delay-free, and ad-free stream, there's a link to my WAP in the description below, where you can get access to the Discord live streams. So if you see me scalping on a 1 minute time frame, that's not really feasible, or you're not really able to do the same as I do with a 2 minute delay. Most of the time you would be missing out. And we even had a nice bearish fair value gap up here. We tapped inside of it and continued lower with volume imbalance, unmitigated volume imbalance. So I'm still looking forward for this one to get filled yet, before we continue to go for more sell side liquidity. That's our regular trading hours. Opening gap. Session liquidity, SMT divergence. No, that should be fine. So we took out a low, we still have equal highs above. Let's see if the momentum can continue. if we keep consolidating here, we had news at 9:45, if I'm not terrible wrong. Forex Factory. Chicago PMI news, but not a red photo high impact news event. We will have consumer confidence, red photo news at 10 a.m. So we will make sure we're up to date, 10 a.m. right here. Okay, so we took this sell side. Now we want to see a close below it so we can confirm the continuation instead of sweeping sell side and going back to our entry to fill in more inefficiencies. My stop loss now goes to break even. We just swept the low, we didn't close below it. So there's still the potential that we took this sell side liquidity to run these equal highs up here, fill this unmitigated volume imbalance, but we're looking pretty good. Here, that's the London session sell side, London 4 a.m. low, and we just like that hit our target. A little bit more than 5 points. We didn't hit it yet. Let's take a look at NQ. Relative equal lows from yesterday's New York session. Yeah, also just looking forward to, that's what it looks like if you turn on most of the features of the ICT all-in-one. You don't really need all of them at the same time. That's why we have the control panel right here where you can enable and disable all the things that you need right now. Okay, we're continuing lower on NQ. We hit our take profit target. Right here, we got in of the volume imbalance, consolidation, continuation. More of a gut feeling trade. I wouldn't give this name or call it a specific model. Comes with screen time. We see how we perfectly rejected from this bearish fair value gap paired with this unfilled volume imbalance. If we were to turn on 1 minute volume imbalances down here in the settings, don't want to see daily fair value gaps, multi-time frame fair value gaps. We also get them displayed on our chart. Now we're just about to hit the midnight level. We took out London sell side. Hit a bullish fair value gap. Here's our bearish fair value gap. NQ took out the low of the day. Yes, did not yet. So let's see if we can just continue with the momentum. For a little small scalp. Bearish fair value gap paired with a volume imbalance. My stop loss is going to be 1 tick above this high. Targeting the low of the day comes in at 220. All right, we're filled. Let's see how we go here. So now we have pretty significant SMT divergence with NQ having taken out this 2 a.m. low right here. And we see that on ES, we didn't do that yet. We might still be able to do that very soon. If I see a close above the bearish fair value gap right here paired with the volume imbalance, I am going to cut the position early. But like we always say, wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. And that's enough storytelling for me. Not worth the risk on this momentum continuation entry. We just took sell side. We left behind a bearish fair value gap. So know what we could actually do. But I guess I'm a little bit too slow for that. Our bearish fair value gap now turned into a inversion fair value gap, and we use that inversion fair value gap here already to deliver to the upside. Took out sell side, inversion fair value gap, hit a 1 minute bullish fair value gap down here. We have a couple of them below us. Let's see, even if we close back below, that's just not the precision that I would like to see to remain in my initial entry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we close right at the low of the inversion. Once I see fair value gaps not really being respected, yeah, that's when I'm closing my positions out early. Be aware that we have news coming in at 10 a.m. Consumer confidence, red folder news. Take a look at NQ. NQ also rejecting immediately after sweeping the slow. We already took a nice scalp from here to here. Took a tiny little bits of drawdown on this move here. We could now play the inversion, but yeah, 4 minutes ahead of news, there's no real reason to risk anything. We keep on holding off this old volume imbalance paired with the inversion fair value gap and deliver back to the upside. Potential targets for me would be the SPY side. And where do we deliver from? From this inversion fair value gap. I can put that on the chart. 15-minute time frame. We can also see that we have, right now at least, we will see what the news will do. 1 minute time frame. SMT divergence with NQ. That might not be final, but we can already see that bodies are not really respecting inefficiencies, bearish inefficiencies. Much more, they now start to respect the inversion of this initial bearish inefficiency and these old bearish volume imbalances. We close above, we retrace, we bounce off the inversion fair value gap and this volume imbalance right here and deliver to the upside. And this invalidates bearish order flow for me. This is why I'm not staying in the short, waiting for my stop loss to be hit. If I see that, I cut risk early. Right here, we entered based on the volume imbalance paired with the bearish fair value gap, and we did not see any violation of that. Yeah, we got some wicks, but wicks always to the damage, while the bodies tell us the story. 9:58, so 30 seconds to go. Check out the YouTube chat. Good question, Fate TV. When people say that you should trade the weaker one, in this case, well, okay, so how do you know which one is the better one to trade? And I always, hang on, let me hide the indicator here quickly. Things are getting out of hand. So which one here would be the better one to trade? In my opinion, it would be NQ, because NQ took out this low right here, and ESZ still potentially could do so. NQ here already raided this major sell-side liquidity pool, and if we get above this high right here on NQ, we could call it a market structure shift for a potential retracement into our 930 opening range. And in this scenario, NQ would be the weaker one with the SMT divergence because NQ took that sell side liquidity. And if we look at the high here on NQ, we didn't take out yesterday's high. So this is our previous day's high right here from Monday 9:46 a.m. roughly. And we can see that NQ didn't even make it above that. And also yesterday, NQ didn't go back above the 9:30 highs, the New York highs, during the PM session. While on ES, we actually managed to get back above them. Here we have our AM session highs, and here's our PM session high. We see we went above it. Which one is the weaker one to trade? The one that took the liquidity. Yes, in this scenario. Or for the short, which I shared with all the VIP members on the Discord. We always get a few new people watching, so I make sure that I always share these things. Might be a little bit repetitive, but right here I talked about, a little bit laggy, the potential 2022 model at the high of the day prior to the 9:30 open. So I'm just adding this to make sure everyone is aware of the risk. We had a 15-minute market structure shift, and that's where we got our entry from right here on this candle, based on the 5-minute bearish fair value gaps that we have left behind after we displaced. And same again, which one is the better one to trade if we have SMT divergence? The one that took buy side liquidity above yesterday's high, followed by the displacement. So in this scenario, ES. I hope that makes sense. Let me go back to the 1 minute. We just got 10 a.m. news. That's likely why we saw price not really respecting our inefficiencies. Take a look at NQ. Just gonna keep an eye on that here. Yes, it's not really that far away from our major draw on liquidity, being London sell side or 2 a.m. sell side. Yeah, exactly. Because it, yeah, theoretically has a higher probability because it took that major liquidity pool and then displaced for a potential reversal. So yeah, that's why people consider that the weaker one. Same goes for DXY and foreign currency future pairs or currency pairs. If you, for example, trade the Euro US dollar futures pair or Forex pair, CFD pair, and you compare it to the dollar index highs and lows, you would also, yeah, place the trades on the weaker one. If the euro dollar didn't take out the high yet, it's more dangerous to, yeah, take the short or the long on the euro dollar without having taken that liquidity, because it always could, and the probability that it does is there. While on a stronger one, which actually, no, weaker one, which took out the liquidity, yeah, you have, I'd say, higher probability for it to play out. Oh. Alright, so we have our old inversion fair value gap paired with this bearish one. NQ looks a little bit stronger right here. We only saw wicks after the 10 a.m. news candle right here. Only consumer confidence, that's why we didn't see a significant impact. Let me hide the backgrounds here. Power of 3, multi-time frame fair value gap, sweep up. Yep. I think that should be all. And there goes sell side. We just hit the midnight opening level, I think. Yeah, midnight open. Took sell side. That's what we were looking for with the second short. But because we had news coming up, we started to disrespect the bearish value gap here, close above it and use it as support. That's not what we like to see while being in a 1 minute scalp. And that's why I cut risk early. And Q still looking a little bit stronger. And now we have new SMT divergence. So if we would turn on our, let's see if it works, SMT divergence inside the beta. Let me make sure I use the correct settings. Yep, we compare to NQ and we have a SMT look back of 3. Now likely not, because look back of 3 means we need 3 more candles for the indicator to recognize it as a SMT divergence. Our most recent one with a small period was right here. Right here. Maybe I increased that period, but for now, that's why it's still in beta. Want to make sure everything is working perfectly. Same as yesterday, we touched that midnight level and we immediately reject. That's why it's not just a random level, and that's why it's included in the all-in-one indicator. We bounce. We took the London lows, took the sell side. For now, it's just watch and see for me, really. If more fair value gaps to the downside. Once we're at that midnight level, we immediately continue to the upside. Random? I don't think so. Then here would our market structure shift be. We're not at the low of the day here on ES, but we get the idea. So theoretically, the better asset to trade in terms of the weaker one would be NQ here, because it took out the London session low, or the current low of the day, being right here at 14,320. And now we get the displacement of from this bullish fair value gap down here. So if we now leave behind a new 1 minute bullish fair value gap, we could potentially enter on this, looking for a retracement, let's say 50%, I think would be healthy. Of this 930 opening range. This is our 930 open. We closed above, so that's a valid market structure shift on NQ. We would still like to wait for the fair value gap. We would already have our breaker block. Low, lower low, SMT divergence right here. We look for the highest up closing candle to become our breaker block. We already retested the breaker block area. I always expand it. If it's a wick, a bearish wick that made the high, I still expand it. Because for me, breaker blocks really are just old resistance being turned into support. That's what I want to see with a breaker block. So on NQ, if this candle is closing like this, we would have a valid 2022 model. Our stop loss being below this low, targeting, let's use the PD array here, 50%. We almost hit that already. So NQ is a little bit stronger here, while on ES, I would look forward to get an entry down here and down here. We have our breaker block. Let's enter with market here. We have our buy side liquidity above this high. This becomes our market structure shift. And we have SMT divergence with NQ here. We closed above the SPY side, and now we're inside these old inefficiencies right here. We retested the VWAP, and that's going pretty well for us. NQ retested the breaker, continued expanding to the upside without filling the fair value gap. Likely going to become a breakaway gap here. So we're going to be following ES more here on each and every stream. But we're doing pretty well. I'm going to get rid of these SPY limits. We're already back above the daily opening level at 4184.25. If we manage to close above all these bearish fair value gaps, that's going to be a good confirmation. Let me add my stop loss right here. Go maybe to the higher time frame. And now guys, it's really interesting because where did we bounce from? Was it a random level right here? Was it random? Let's wait for the indicator to load. I just hided it. Did we touch a random level? Do we look at this level every single day? Do we always have it on our chart? Yes, 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 yes. Exactly that midnight opening level. Right here, midnight open up. Boom. 1 minute time frame. We close above all the bearish fair value gaps, continue to expand. So I'm gonna let this run here. And there goes the high. This becomes our Judo swing, market structure shift. We got in with a market by order. Our fair value gaps haven't been filled, but our breaker block right here would have been. Let me hide a few things here. I do not need the regular trading hours opening gap, and I also don't need the multi-time frame fair value gaps. I prefer drawing fair value gaps, the ones I'm interested in, drawing them manually. I will leave the volume imbalances on. I think they are pretty helpful. Bearish market structure shift, bullish market structure shift, bullish SMT. NQ also being up relatively high, way above the 50%, so that's already 50 points plus on NQ. ES, let's see what happens around this area. This is our 930 opening, fair value gap. We see we didn't close above it, we only gapped above it, but immediately closed it in. So right now this is our level of resistance before we continue to take out the 930 high right here, and our equal highs from over here on our way back above the previous day's high. This orange line here, the 830 opening, and our current high of the day. Let's see how we close here in 7 seconds. Do we get our close above? Yes, we get our close above, so that's pretty good. NQ, Gonna secure my profits here. To be content with enough, we took a scalp short down here towards the midnight level. Then prior to the news, we tried to short off this bearish fair value gap with our take profit target being at the midnight level. But prior to the news, we started to disrespect the fair value gaps. Didn't really, yeah, respect them with the candle bodies. That's what we want to see. We continued lower, bounced perfectly off the midnight level. We saw our displacement and continued to the upside and got in along with a market entry. Pretty good. I still believe that we are about to see higher prices. Yes, and in Q are relatively speaking at the same levels. So let's see if we have any questions here on YouTube or Discord. Make sure to ask them. Hey Freshki, good morning. Consolidate around this area. So theoretically, because we closed above it, right here on the 1 minute time frame, with this candle we would expect support, but we immediately closed below it. So this might just be a little bit of a consolidation below buy side, which most of the time, yeah, ends up delivering price into buy side liquidity. Like we saw, for example, right here, we took out buy side, we consolidate, and we still deliver into that previous day's high. We retested daily opening level, also not a random level, similar for the midnight level, where we just bounced off down here. Okay, we keep on expanding. Let's see, check out YouTube. So guys on YouTube, if you want to participate in those 1 minute scalps, then yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty hard on YouTube with the 2 minute delay and the ads. That's why we have the Discord live stream running as well. So we were in for a treat on this Halloween. Oh, Agent Smith, you will have to block Java as your trading view username. I remember that one. I add you to the script later on after the stream ended. I will send you a DM. NQ continuing up higher. 50 points, but never came back into our fair value gap right here. It's, I don't want to say usually, but just from enough time and spent in front of the charts, if we see such a long consolidation around a key level, the London session low or 2 a.m. low right here, hourly lows, we consolidate, we break below it. And I was talking about NQ looking relatively strong compared to ES because NQ didn't make this lower low right here. It made a higher low, while on NQ we actually ended up making a lower low, bouncing off the midnight level, getting in and on the breaker block right here for the continuation trade. We still have some buy side left. We're relatively high. We don't have any new fair value gaps right here. We have buy side liquidity above. We're back inside, or are we already above the regular trading hours gap? Let me check. Made a higher high on NQ as well. We are back inside the regular trading hours gap. So this purple box right here, or pink, whatever, is the regular trading hours gap. This is the closing price on Friday, New York session, and this is the opening price for today's New York session. That's how this entire gap, yeah, is being drawn or being mapped on. Usually you have to go over to your regular trading hours chart, then you would see that gap as well right here. It doesn't even show on the regular trading hours chart, only on the electronic one. I think it might be time to look at a higher time frame because we do not want to get carried away from the lower time frame. We have our buy side targets above our, what's this line? Previous day's high. Our short-term high being cleared. Our 5-minute bearish market structure shift for the initial short. Fresky, did you get out of your short before it came all the way back up? Don't have time to check the DMs yet. Your entry was at 95, so on that higher 5-minute fair value gap. I was wondering when you said 94, was like, why 94? Like on this wick here, fair value gap down here and fair value gap above here. I had my limit order set right here on this 15-minute bearish fair value gap. And we ticked it, was enough to get filled, secured after 10 points below the sell side liquidity. It happens. We already close above this 15-minute bearish. Repriced below sell side liquidity and a discount. This being our Judah swing. NQ still looking strong. 15-minute bearish. Buy side, and buy side liquidity. This is our 1-minute inversion fair value gap. Let's look at it on a higher time frame, even 1 hour chart. We have 37 minutes to go on this hourly candle. We had all the news that were coming up today. And right now, I don't know, I'm starting to 4-hour chart. Starting to look like a potential inverted head and shoulder setup here on the 4-hour time frame. Head and our right shoulder. Could see a retracement lower. We have our neckline up here. We have our daily bearish fair value gap and old new day opening gap or daily volume imbalance. Up here as well. Paired with a daily bearish fair value gap. So before we continue lower, if we take a close look at what we see on the daily time frame and hide our drawings here quickly, you can see that it's because I'm on ESZ and not on ES1. Okay, it doesn't make sense then. I'm gonna do that later on throughout the stream. 5-minute time frame. We do have several or 2 5-minute bullish fair value gaps. Inversion, same on the 15. Go to the 1-minute time frame and we continue to consolidate until tomorrow, Fresky. Tomorrow is a new day. Turn on the indicator again and get rid of the regular trading hours opening gap. Now I want to see if the SMT divergence down here is being detected. No, okay. Likely because of the settings for it. So let's see if it helps if I'm increasing that to 5. No, what's happening with my chart? Where's the symbol gonna know? 12. So I think we have to, let's say, only look at more important SMTs. So if we have 20 candles in between them, and then we should be able to see it. Well, what's happening? Beta. So after closing above our inversion, we still don't see the SMT. That's weird. Well, I would try to fix that issue off screen. That's exactly why it's still a beta version and not the alpha version right here. We play around this inversion, but since closing above it, we didn't respect it. We closed back above it. We didn't respect it. We closed back below. So this could lead to a potential retracement, maybe into a we're already in the 5-minute bullish fair value gap. I'm not keen on entering on that pullback too quickly. We already made our profits, made some big boy profits today. Let's see if we have any more questions. 3:26, almost 10:30. Yeah, no. Contact. Exactly, Agent Smith. We'll see you in December, Fade. We already had a chat. Until later. All right. All right, all right, all right. Right now, I'm not really sure what the market is going to do. I suspect continuation to the upside, filling some inefficiencies maybe on the higher time frame. But for an entry, a scalping entry here on the 1 minute, it would be too early. On the 5 minute, it's hard to really call it a displacement. I liked this one much more. We made a higher high, clearly broke the low, putting in some structure. Here at the low, all we did was sell off on the 5-minute time frame and stopping, or let's say slowing down with the bearish momentum. We wicked the London session low, we tapped the New York midnight level, and then we expanded to the upside. So yeah, according to the rules, a textbook setup for a long, we capitalized on that. But yeah, I don't know, from experience, I prefer these ones more where we put in place higher highs and higher lows. We form a low, we form a high, we pull back, form a higher high, form a higher low, form another higher high, and then we displace, leaving behind inefficiency number 1 and inefficiency number 2. Also on the 15, we hit the 15-minute fair value gap. And even though we had the New York Open, we continued to sell off into sell side liquidity. Compared to this one, yeah, on a 1-minute time, a 5-minute time frame would be tough. Would look something like this. So just very squeezed together. We touched the VWAP and once again that daily opening level, and we see we've been respecting that level previously. Want to see some good confirmation for bullish order flow after the retracement, like a fair value gap or fair value gap paired with a volume imbalance. Daily candle. General chat. We continue to the upside after we retrace to the daily opening. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Much better than Patreon. I don't know why I've been with Patreon for so long. Trading view, ES. Do we get some order flow? I will wait. Still playing with this level. We have a teeny weeny little fair value gap here on the 1 minute time frame. I want to see that being supported, but if we close below it, it's not a good sign for the order flow. At least for right now. It is 10:30, so this is a new 15-minute candle. If we check the 15-minute time frame, 10:30 candle. We close below the 1 minute bullish fair value gap. Let's see. But right here, this is all a mess. That's why I'm not really keen on entering inside this area. We go up, we go down. And I do not like to stay in trades for too long inside these choppy environments. And we do see similarity between them. We sold off. We start consolidating, moving slower, slower, slower. We expand. We consolidate, move slower, slower, slower until we expand. Another time, likely. I'd expect it would go or would expand to the upside. But right now we see that we close below a bullish fair value gap, making it an inversion, close back above it. Not what we would like to see. We're holding respectively on the new day opening gap paired with the VWAP and the daily open. But for me to get in long on a little scalp into buy side, it would take more. This is our highest bearish fair value gap right now. So I've got a few messages. It's done. Now we have equal lows and we tap that daily opening level another time. On NQ, let's turn off the kill zone boxes, backgrounds, macros, SMT divergence, fair value gaps. Volume imbalances, I leave them on because I have daily volume imbalances here on the chart. The break of structure, the market structure shift, I do not need that. I want to see the regular trading hours opening gap. Let's see and let that load up. In the meantime, we see ESZ taking a further retracement. On NQ, same thing, market structure shift, daily volume imbalance, daily bearish volume imbalance. We still hold around the VWAP. We got below the midnight level. That's where we saw the entire 2022 model form. Right up here, market structure shift, bearish fair value gap, nice. That played out well. Let's go back, 5-minute time frame. So we failed to continue up higher. Let's see what's happening inside this area. We're close back below the VWAP and below the daily opening. We just touched the breaker block here on the 5, being this candle's high. But the market was already very generous with us this morning here, scalping on the 1 minute and taking the 2022 model short for the funded account also during London. And I do not know what the market is going to do 100% of the time, but yeah, you don't need to know what it's doing 100% of the time. I spoke about that in my most recent video that I uploaded on Saturday, speaking about why most traders struggle to pass their funded accounts. They get carried away on the 1 minute time frame and they overtrade, and I think most of it is, or the core reason why that's happening is because ICT is claiming to teach the algo, how the algo works, blah blah blah. We see it works, like sometimes very well, and I'm not saying anything against that, but it also implements that thought of, okay, I know what the market is gonna do at every given minute, hour, second, and it's, I think, not that simple, to be really honest. We have an idea, but it's always like we see 2022 models fail. Okay, so like, why did it fail? If it's the algo, it's just a different perspective to look at price action, in my opinion. We are starting to retrace pretty deep here. This is our 1 minute breaker block. And we see bearish volume imbalances being put in place. We retrace into those old bullish fair value gaps, but simply entering on them right now with all these bearish inefficiencies here to the left, I don't know, wouldn't be something I do. We already scalped. This up move securing like, I don't know, 10-15 points, but I like that initial reaction. Still, especially since we're on the 1 minute, we can wait a little for it to actually confirm that we hold support on a breaker block, see some sort of little displacement, or just a nice bullish momentum candle with a fair value gap would already be enough. 3, 2, 1. We leave the bearish volume imbalance open. We fill it in one more time. And Q also almost back at the low. Yes, still has some potential sell side to target, being here at the low of the day. And we didn't want to continue up higher. So even though I had that idea of this just being a pullback. Did you see me entering? No, at least not yet. Up here, not worth the risk. Q. And Q would have hit our old entry now inside this bullish inefficiency paired with the breaker. But if you see that expansion, the consolidation at the high, and a immediate pullback, nah, it's not really what you would want to see, if you're being honest. You're now trying to long bearish order flow. Mm, 3:40 p.m. for me here, local time. I will stream until 11 today, I think. Not sure if I will take any more trades today, so yeah, now it's the time to ask me questions regarding the all-in-one indicator or whatever, basically. No rules. Let me open up the Discord live stream. Another bearish volume imbalance right here in this breaker block. Bearish fair value gaps would come up at the VWAP. All right, starting to see some signs of bullish order flow, but well, I don't think we're there yet, especially if we reject. Let's make sure we not get carried away from the lower time frame. We're inside the 15-minute bullish fair value gap right here. 4-hour time frame. Not really telling us much, or not giving away too much. 1-hour time frame. Error on bar 0. Invalid value of the length argument in the highest function must be greater than 0. Interesting. More and more bugs that I see here in the beta version. That's why it's not out there yet. It could take a while. Alright, we kept holding on that 5-minute bullish fair value gap. Looking rather bullish. Our NQ entry should be doing pretty well as well. Alright, 1-minute time frame. Might miss out on that entry, but we already secured plenty for today, even if we miss out. Still see the overall model that we have put in place here on ES kept on holding. Wasn't too sure with this. Rather strong sell-off here, or deeper retracement. But it only looks like a deeper retracement on a 1-minute time frame. And if you want to make it really simple or easy on you, you go to a higher time frame, because then all you would have seen is a 5-minute bullish, or maybe 15. Doesn't really look clean today, was much cleaner yesterday. Just a lot of noise on the 1-minute time frame as always. Not really made for beginners. Let me take a look at the YouTube live stream. 15-minute inversion fair value gap. Yes, I agree. We also had a 15-minute bullish fair value gap and our 1-minute breaker block that kept out holding perfectly paired with this bullish fair value gap. So we are now back inside the 930 inversion. We had our retracement, and everyone that tried to short this got liquidated pretty quickly. And now they have to buy back their shorts or their sells, which just accelerates this movement to the upside. On NQ, we would have already hit our take profit of 50 points. Let's see, 2 to 1. This was the entry we were leaving here. No, we wouldn't have hit the 2 to 1 yet. Close above the bearish fair value gap. Let's see if we can chase momentum here. Getting in pretty late, super close to buy side. We have new buy side liquidity right here at this high. But maybe, just maybe, close above this bearish fair value gap, which offered resistance right here and right here, turning it now into a inversion fair value gap. And once we turned it into a inversion, we respected it right here. Opened up with no volume imbalance and no volume imbalance right here. Let's keep an eye on that. Now I'm not gonna add to this buy right now. We close back below the inversion. Not really what I would have liked to see for the momentum continuation, so I'm gonna get out of this little trade. Unfortunate, but I decided to enter again. Lost a little bit of the profits that we've made so far. This could just be a minor pullback, but I wanted to see the exact same momentum continuation after even closing above this inversion fair value gap. I saw we closed below it, so I get out. And it filled me at almost the worst possible price. But I do not expect anything better than that if I do market order entries. What's the time? It's 10:47, so we're about to enter into the 10:50, 11 a.m. macro. And Q took out the high here, while ES did not take out the high yet. Five-minute candle is gonna close in 1.5 minutes. So let's see what we do inside this bearish inefficiency that we left behind. I'd like to see the close above it. And executions like these, you see them maybe also in your trades. Once you have secured your profit for the day, we've been short right here, more than 5 points. We took a small little loss right here and a nice, beautiful runner up into here. And I hope you guys see the similarity. So after our first win, right here on the 1 minute time frame, took a silly execution. next big win. Okay, we had more time in between, but still really not necessary. And I always, when I journal my trades, I always put them down as I was afraid. Afraid is the right word here to use, to give away or give back some profits that I have already secured on the funded account. So yeah, once you make profits, most of the time it's just better to walk away. Pretty hard to do if you're on live stream, gotta admit that. But yeah, maybe you have these executions too where you enter, you're pretty confident. Of course, I saw the invalidation, and based on that I got out of the trade again. Might still play out and continue to reach short buy side. I would be able to get in again, but yeah, it's also part of the reason because I already had my profit for the day, and I'm not really willing to watch price go against me here, and then you take more emotional based exits, because yeah, you don't want to give anything away of the profits you have already made. No one likes money being taken away from them. Best thing to do is lock your profitable trade and log out of your trading view, close the charts, and come back tomorrow, because the market, if you believe it or not, is going to be there tomorrow. It's not going to disappear, at least not overnight. Sometimes we just set these, unrealistic targets for one specific trading day. Today I have to pass the funded account, like only today that's possible. Then you end up blowing it, and once you close your charts and you're like, what did I do? I really had so much more time for the challenge. Why did I do that? Blah, blah, blah. I only would have had to stomach a little bit more drawdown. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I would use the same entry once again, the inversion fair value gap here, volume imbalance, and maybe paired with a bullish fair value gap soon. Message on Discord. And we hit buy side. Continue to expand. So the entry would have been fine theoretically. Just didn't see what I wanted to see. So after this nice run, we needed a little bit of a pullback before we continue to run. Chickened out, so we took this buy side. The next buy side paired with a 15-minute bearish fair value gap is about to be taken. Then we are back to our previous day's high and the current high of the day. So we just tapped this buy side as well. Now we're inside the 15-minute bearish. Gonna get rid of the limit orders, and that's gonna be it for me today. It is 10:53, so we're inside the macro. It started right over here, so 10:50 till 11:10. We have the last macro for the AM session, at least for me, the one I trade. and we got the retracement 1049, 1050. We started to see the expansion. Pretty cool. Always keep in mind that you're looking at a time-based chart. Each and every candle represents a different time. Let's see what we do with this 15-minute bearish NQ above the 930 high. Same for ES here. Took out these equal highs right here. Respected the breaker block paired with the bullish share value gap. I can't really complain today. No, I'm not gonna chase any of this. Let's open up Tradeovate. Up 540, we've already journaled that, I think. Yep, that's done. We hit the 15-minute bearish value gap after taking all the buy side, and we immediately get a rejection from this level. Daily volume imbalance. It is 10:56. Couple more minutes left on the live stream. So if you have any questions, ask me. No, would be the right time. Otherwise, I will actually not be here tomorrow because there's a public holiday here in Germany. I will still be on the Discord, and if I see a nice setup, I might even execute on my funnel account, and I will make sure to share it with all VIP members on Discord as well. So yeah, make sure to keep an eye out for that. And yeah, other than that, there's not really that much to say. Had a pretty good morning and beautiful London session. Let's see, YouTube live stream. I hope you guys have made some profits as well here on the spooky Halloween live stream. We were in for a treat today. And if you want access to the ICT All-in-One Indicator, there's a 10% discount code. If you use the discount code ESZ, accumulation zone, so A, the beginning of the alphabet, Z for the end of the alphabet. And the link for it is in the description box below. I hope at least that it updated it. We will see. Yep, pop.com right here. Already 2 reviews, nice. Yeah, but really not interested in anything post 11 AM here. We could see the continuation higher. We could continue lower. I don't need to know what the market is going to do 100% of the time. We scalped our profits today. So yeah, unless there are any more questions, it's going to be the end for the stream. The stream has been running for almost 2 hours now. Started at 8 AM, 8:30, yep. I live near Munich, between Stuttgart and Munich. Bongo Rambo. 3:59. We can check the hourly time frame one last time. 40 seconds to go on the hourly. Bullish SMT divergence at the lows. Seem to be getting that last push for the hourly candle. 10:59. The only buy side that we have left really would be the current high of the day here on ES, coming in at 4199. It's almost at double digits or double zeros. On NQ, we are still below the previous day's high, right up here at 1447.6.5. We took out the 930 high and we took out this high as well. That's the same thing here on ES. 15-minute time frame. Tap the fair value gap now finally. Nice confirmation would be a close above and then maybe using the inversion. But really heading into lunch hour, I would much rather wait for something during a PM session if you like to trade the PM session. New hour momentum, taking out the previous hour high. So it's the 11 a.m. hourly candle, open up right here. Now open up with a bullish volume imbalance, still making higher highs and higher lows. No reason to try to go against order flow right now. NQ is following suit. Now, that's going to be it for the stream. Let's see if we have any questions. Nothing on Discord and nothing new on YouTube.